According to the peace order, 40-year-old Elaine Jackson claims she was being stalked by MTA employee Leon Douglas Hill. In court papers, she indicates they dated at one point. She broke it off over, quote, some differences in March, but agreed to be friends. She was moving on in another relationship. Jackson writes, Hill told her, I don't care if you and your man get married, you will always be mine. Jackson writes, over the summer she notified Hill she was no longer interested in having contact with him. She complained that he kept calling and texting demanding money from her in exchange for not telling her significant other about their previous relationship. On October 12th, Jackson explains Hill followed her to her car demanding to talk with her, threatening to tell her significant other everything about them. Since then, she writes, he had been calling her from blacked out numbers and reaching out to her new interest, telling him things that weren't true. Jackson writes Hill stated, if he can't have me, no one will. Court papers indicate Jackson applied for a peace order and got this temporary one a week ago today. She was scheduled to go to court today for a hearing on a final peace order. City detectives are seeking the public's help in finding him. Anyone with information is urged to call Metro Crime Stoppers.
The victim was a 40-year-old mom. She had worked for MTA for 4 years. Tonight, the agency is sending their condolences to the family. Detectives and the community are searching for answers on who gunned down an MTA bus driver at her job. Tuesday afternoon around 5, Baltimore City Police found Elaine Jackson with gunshot wounds in the South Baltimore MTA bus location. This was on Washington Boulevard near Bush Street. Someone had shot her, then disappeared. She was later pronounced dead at shock trauma. Mayor Brandon Scott said police are working to bring justice.
It's an unspeakable tragedy, and BPD is currently working out leads, and we hope to be able to bring this person to justice for the family, for the community.
Jackson was a mom, and her loved ones are now trying to make sense of all of this. WJZ found this photo of Jackson from 2019 when she won $50,000 with the Maryland lottery. She decided to play her lucky numbers after a trip to the mall with her daughters. Jackson had worked with the MTA for 4 years. Tonight, the agency said they're grieving the tragic loss of one of their colleagues who was a warm, caring individual and a valued member of their team. City Police is also urging people to call Metro Crime Stoppers with any tips.
A suspect has been identified in the death of MTA driver Elaine Jackson.
Baltimore police are looking for Leon Hill. Take a look at your screen right now. This is who police think killed Jackson earlier this week, right there in the parking lot of the MTA bus lot. If you recognize this man, call Metro Crime Stoppers at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. And people who work for the Maryland Department of Transportation and Transit Authority are very, of course, shaken up by this, and that Elaine was a wonderful person.
We have learned that she and her boyfriend had won $50,000 in the Maryland lottery a couple years ago. They had a winning ticket, April 26th of 2019, bonus match 5 drawing.
I was surprised. I was shocked. I didn't know that he was capable of doing something like that.
Hill's home is in Windsor Mill in Baltimore County. We spoke to several of his neighbors. They tell us he is also a MTA bus driver. They say he is very kind and was a great neighbor who was known to check in on his neighbors.
I ride by, he'd blow the horn, I'll blow the horn. Hey, how you doing, man? How's the family? It was always a good, respectful man.
Dietrich Marion lives a few houses away from Hill. He worries because police say Hill is on the run.
We haven't heard anything on the news, if he's been caught, his whereabouts. It's frightening.
All of Hill's neighbors tell us they're praying for Jackson's family.
I'm sorry that lady had to lose her life, because that's really unfortunate.
This is a very, very ugly situation. I wish things could have got handled a whole lot better for the both of them.
Big story at 7 o'clock. A man is behind bars tonight as police say he's responsible for killing an MTA driver nearly 3 months ago.
Hill was caught in Atlanta, Georgia. He's now facing a first-degree murder charge. So let's go ahead and rewind to when this all began back in October 2022. Investigators say that Hill was shot. Hill shot 40-year-old Elaine Jackson at this MTA bus lot in South Baltimore, her place of work as a bus driver. She was taken to the hospital but died from her injuries. Just 4 days before this, though, get this, WJZ confirmed through court records that Jackson took out a peace order against Hill, accusing him of harassing and stalking her after explaining the two could only be friends as she was already in a relationship. The order reveals a chilling statement, though, written by Jackson, where Hill allegedly told her, quote, "If I can't have you, no one will." I spoke with Hill's neighbors tonight, who says that he was always appearing to be friendly, never expecting to be living doors down from now a wanted man.
I don't even have words. It's very shocking, and that is what I'll be praying about tonight for the family and for him and his family.
Step down front.